All right, and we're live. So welcome back to Dapp University. So today we got a really exciting update to talk about for Ethereum 2.0. This is something that I've seen floating around kind of on Twitter, on Reddit, and other places that could be really big for what's coming down the pike with Ethereum 2.0. As you all know, we're on this transition from Ethereum 1.0 to Ethereum 2.0. We're talking about more of that in this video, like why this is such a big deal. We got a bunch of other news about, PayPal and cryptocurrencies. The NFT craze is taking off like wild. We're talking more about that. Also, some updates on the markets and a lot more. So before we get into that, if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to become a blockchain master step by step from start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, so we got people rolling in the chat here. We got Manny, Gabrielas, Mahfouz, Cajun, Eugen, Tyler. Awesome. Very cool. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So we got a big update for Ethereum 2.0. We're going to talk about this. So let's go ahead and dive into that before we jump into a market update. I think this is a huge deal. So I've been seeing some talk about this online, but we just saw some posts on Reddit where we actually saw some official, folks and they're a part of Ethereum sort of weigh on this discussion. So this is about the ETH 2.0 merge, okay, and sort of changing the order of how things will potentially roll out and actually bringing staking to ETH sooner than was expected, okay. So let me explain this. So if you're using Ethereum right now, using Ethereum 1.0, all right, we're moving to a new improved version of Ethereum 2.0 that'll be much faster, more scalable, all that kind of stuff, all right. That's a multi-phase process, a multi-year transition, okay. We started that process in November with phase 0, okay. There's multiple phases, phase 0, phase 1, 1.5, all the way until ETH 2.0 fully rolls out, okay. So different updates were a part of that phase, of each phase, because you don't just like flip a switch and turn Ethereum 2.0 on. You have to build it one piece at a time. Okay, so right now in phase 0, we have the beacon chain set up, which is a parallel blockchain for Ethereum 2.0. Okay, that's basically allows them to work on Ethereum 2.0 without touching Ethereum 1.0, right? And eventually on that roadmap, the whole idea is to merge ETH 1.0 as a shard into ETH 2.0, okay? And of course, we've seen a lot of updates for Ethereum coming down the pike. We got layer 2 scaling, which is not really an update to Ethereum itself, is more just adding scaling on top of it. But we are seeing EIP 1559, which I've talked about a lot on this channel, is a big update to the protocol, the biggest one that's happened since Ethereum 2.0, since Ethereum 1.0 launched in 2015. And now we're seeing ETH 2.0 be actively developed. But here's the biggest part, okay? So we're seeing support for proof of stake getting turned on sooner than was expected. Okay, so let's look at this post actually from Reddit. Okay, we actually see Vitalik weighing in on this, and lots of other really important people from Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum Foundation. So basically saying why the merge should be prioritized over data sharding. Okay, so basically the merge is when the chains get merged, staking gets turned on, and proof of stake, the new consensus mechanism for Ethereum, gets turned on. And that's some huge news that could be coming sooner than we thought. So basically they're saying, like, because originally on the roadmap, that was prioritized after data sharding. So data sharding is basically like taking data and breaking it up into I'm trying to define it without using the word shard, because basically I'm just breaking data up, moving on different shards, different like compartments to enhance the performance of the blockchain itself. But we're seeing support to where that can be deprioritized. It will happen. It just happened after proof of stake gets turned on. So this will be big. Basically, it means there's lots of benefits here, like staking rewards will become liquid faster. So it would incentivize people to actually stake. I think one of the big barriers of entry right now for people actually staking on Ethereum 2.0 is the lack of liquidity. So if you're going to stake on Ethereum 2.0 right now, you have to send it to the beacon chain, and you can't get it back until basically that merge happens and we can withdraw funds, okay? of course, there's a barrier of entry of having 32 Ether to do it. You got to run a validator node, all that kind of stuff. But there'll still be lots of people who meet those criteria who don't really want to stake right now because, hey, they couldn't get their ETH back. So here's some other pros that they list here. Immediate liquidity, less complexity to implement when compared to data sharding. Yeah, totally. There's lots of positives here. So also we see another post from Vitalik. Somebody asked, so Vitalik, if you guys don't know, is the mastermind behind Ethereum. Another question was raised, or what are the next big improvements that will go live after EIP 1559? So again, I've been talking about EIP 1559 on this channel. I've actually got a more detailed video about that coming out this week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button down below to see that when it comes out. Turn notifications. Basically, it's a change to Ethereum itself. There's a lot to it, so I'm going to explain it on that video. One of the biggest things people are excited about is that Ethereum fees will get burned whenever new transactions are created. Okay, so that means part of the Ethereum that you pay as your transaction fee will just get erased from the blockchain, and that's actually a good thing because it helps the economics of the actual underlying asset itself. Okay, so that change is supposed to be coming in July. It's scheduled for then. So some people are asking, like, Vitalik, hey, what are the big things that are coming after that? And so basically, he's saying the merge. So the merge for ETH 2.0, and then also some solution to state size, either statelessness or state expiry or both. Okay. Also, technically not part of the protocol, but general purpose rollups, which are looking to come earlier than 1559, are important too. So that's what we've been talking about a lot too. So, and that's exactly what I said a minute ago. So, layer 2 scaling solution rollups are not really part of Ethereum itself. They're a layer on top of Ethereum, but he lists that there as, some really important stuff that's going to come down the pike. And that'll be here before EIP 1559 will. So. All right. So this is huge. I'll be excited to see this happen sooner rather than later. Put it that way. I'm looking up. See if we got any other questions here. Yeah, I'll jump into more questions towards the end. So go ahead and look at the markets. Okay. My general outlook on things is good. Okay. We're seeing a lot of green. I'm sure lots of people are looking at the CoinGecko, at the Lizard website. Pretty happy this morning. Yeah, I mean, things are green. Things are good. We can look at, Bitcoin, of course. Yeah, it looks like we've kind of broken out of, I mean, like I said, I'm not a big TA guy. I like to look at, the big picture. But if I were to do some really basic amateur technical analysis on this, again, guys, I'm not a TA guy. I'm a long-term buy and hold investor. I'm a developer with technology on a daily basis. I don't want myself to look like an idiot, but if I were to do some really basic TA, you could draw some lines on here and draw like a downtrend, right? And then it looks like it's broken out of this downtrend. Okay, if that were some really basic, like 101 TA, that's what I would say about this. Okay. It's not financial advice. I don't have a short-term price prediction, but to me, it looks like the short-term bearishness for Bitcoin is over. Like, assuming that we don't have something happen with the stock market, something else doesn't blow up, we don't have some other crazy over-leveraged type of thing. All those things could happen. But as far as like the overall sentiment goes, it looks like that short-term bearishness looks like we've broken out of that. So again, that's my really like amateur TA kind of impression. So we'll see. Again, not financial advice. That's just kind of my big picture outlook on it. I mean, that seems to match up with everything else that's kind of going on. Like, if I were to break outside of that and just look at, kind of intuition, other fundamentals, people committing to money in the space, EIP 1559 coming with ETH, all that kind of stuff, the fundamentals seem to support that thesis. So, that prediction may not, that may not age well in the next week or so. We'll see. But that's my take. right, so let's look at ETH. Sorry, I'm having trouble with this candlestick chart. So I would say the same for ETH. Like these things are ETH. I feel like in Bitcoin are pretty correlated in terms of directionality. So like if I don't think we're gonna see ETH just like rocketing off the moon if Bitcoin's on a bearish trend. I mean, it may be somewhat decoupled for short periods of time, but I mean these overall markets are definitely correlated. I see a lot of people talking about ETH, kind of warming up for a big move with EIP 5059 with rollups, all that kind of stuff. I won't officially it's sort of like I'll believe it when I see it type of thing, but it wouldn't surprise me. All right, it wouldn't surprise me. Let's take a look. Yeah, same type of thing. Like if I were to even just do some really, really, really basic TA on this, as good a TA as you can do on CoinGecko with a line chart. Same type thing. Like it looks like ETH's kind of broken out of this short-term bearishness. So like I said, we'll see how that happens in the next couple of weeks. But I personally feel good about this. Somebody says our rollups are a real thing. I'll go ahead and answer that question. Yes, rollups are a real thing. So these are a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, different types of rollups. Optimistic rollups are the ones that I'm most excited about in the short term for lots of reasons. Basically, there's very little friction for developers to put their apps on top of layer 2 with optimistic rollups. They can preserve the ability for apps to talk to one another, which is critical for DeFi and Ethereum's network effects. And yeah, there's lots of reasons. I think ZK rollups see a lot of people talking about ZK rollups would be the better long-term solution, but your app will be supported with ZK rollups out of the box. Part of the benefit of ZK rollups, we talk about this more in QA time, but part of the benefit of ZK rollups is you don't have to trust relayers and with settlement time, all that kind of stuff. It's instant. Okay, so let's look at some more news. Let's look at the NFT craze, heating up like crazy. We're just seeing more and more and more and more and more about NFTs just every single day. This is people talk about this sort of like rivaling some of the DeFi craze, which that would be really surprising me if we just saw NFTs like totally blow up relative to DeFi. I mean, it makes sense. Like I think. Like there's a whole lot of people out there who would be interested in these types of things over just finance, but we'll see. So the thing I saw yesterday, the two things. First one was Taco Bell. So Taco Bell launching their NFTs on Rarible. So this is on top of Ethereum. I don't think I really want to buy any Taco Bell tweets anytime soon. Let me see if I can open it. Hold on. I didn't actually go like participate or anything. I didn't even go to the website. I just saw the tweet. Let me pull it up. So let's see if we can see any stats here. So I didn't even look at it yesterday. I don't know if like they released them and they sold out or something already. There's no items found. Maybe I have to connect my wallet in order to see them, but yeah, Taco Bell is releasing their NFTs on top of ETH. Saw one yesterday about it's Lindsay Lohan releasing an NFT. I'll find the picture somewhere. It's featured in Bloomberg. So is that should you buy a Bitcoin-inspired image of Lindsay Lohan? What about crypto artworks? I saw it floating around somewhere. I'm just, struggling with this paywall here on Bloomberg. Let me see if I can actually find the image. Here it is. Yeah, somebody here with the Michael Scott GIF memes. Please no, please no. So some people are worried about this because it's like, top signals for a cryptocurrency market, basically like celebrities like coming in and jumping on this train and then crashing the entire market. So it's a Rarible token as well. So it's built on top of Ethereum. So use Bitcoin to the moon. It's like a crumpled up poster with Lindsay Lohan and a Bitcoin Volkswagen Beetle parked on the moon with the Earth in the background. That's awesome. Yeah, so NFT craze is still, hot. All right, so another thing I want to look at is some news we talked about last week, but was now actually confirmed. All right, so this has got to do with PayPal. We've been talking about PayPal a lot lately. So, we talked about PayPal earlier this week, or maybe it was on Friday, I can't remember, looking at actually using Ethereum, okay, for smart contracts, also exploring other blockchains too, full disclosure. But they were looking at Ethereum, looking at smart contracts. We don't have confirmation on what they were doing. But we see more and more PayPal like leaning into crypto like big time, okay? So we saw more news about this last week, sort of like rumors floating around that PayPal was going to buy crypto security firm Curve. So this is not like Curve Finance, like the DeFi app built on top of Ethereum. It's a crypto security firm called Curve, spelt differently, okay? But they confirmed that they actually did buy it, okay? So they talk more about PayPal's crypto push in here. PayPal partnered with New York State regulated Paxos to offer buying and selling of cryptocurrency starting in October. Was known to be on the hunt for crypto security, custody, acquisition. Okay, that's big because if you're gonna hold all that crypto, it's got to be secure. Payment John was talking about BitGo. The deal fell through. Yeah, here's all the boring details. You can read the article if you want to. But basically, Curve is who they settled on. And so the big picture here is PayPal leaning a lot more into crypto. And then, having crypto security is one of the top priorities for them. So let's see here. Somebody says maybe Taco Bell NFTs will solve the gas problem. Now we're going to see. I'm really excited about rollups coming out soon. Yeah, we don't have an official timeline yet. The optimism announcement that was going to happen in March. We don't know when in March. At least I didn't see that. It's currently March 9th. So, we're 6 days away from the middle of March. It's still early. We got plenty of time. And we'll see. So we'll see how fast other apps move to Optimism. There's going to be a big incentive here once Optimism launches, in my opinion, because, excuse me. I've always said that it wouldn't surprise me if we saw Uniswap launch on Optimism pretty fast for lots of reasons. They have a big testimonial about Optimism on their website. They launched Unipig Exchange on a testnet version of Uniswap a while back. Other is just incentives, right? There's competition out there for apps in the DeFi marketplace. Okay, they're different decentralized exchanges out there. So once Optimism goes live and makes it relatively easy for apps to port over to their solution, the race is on. Okay, and whoever moves there first and offers the best incentives will likely it'll be good for them. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't surprise me if we saw apps like just rapid fire moving up to L2 as soon as it launches. Again, it's not going to be the end all be all solution. There's going to be some pain. You have to pay to move to L2 unless you have an exchange that supports direct withdrawals to L2, which I can see that happening pretty soon too. We just don't know how long it'll take for those exchanges to support those withdrawals. There's a delay for getting off of L2. But again, that can be mitigated by exchanges letting you withdraw from L2. And then also, I've seen other solutions out there that can't do a really good job of explaining right now. I have to go read about it more, but they're basically ways where you can expedite that process. Optimistically expedite exit from optimistic rollups. Basically, is the short term or the short explanation. Okay, so. So somebody says, hey, Geth 1.10.0 was released just 6 days ago. I'm already running it. It includes features that somewhat speed things up or a bit. The ETH community is working hard for us all. Yes, they are working really hard. So that's awesome. So if anybody doesn't know what that talking about, basically Geth is an Ethereum client. So if you run an Ethereum node, you have a choice between a few different implementations of the Ethereum protocol. Geth is the Go implementation. And there was a big Geth update recently that apparently helps out with a lot of this stuff. So that's awesome. It's exciting. So I saw another tweet yesterday that I thought was an interesting sentiment, or interesting, just like, insight, and I think it's spot on. Okay, and this is something that would be kind of an encouragement for everybody who's watching this channel. So it says, a great thing about DeFi is that by and large is built by a bunch of people without previous financial background. They're unbiased by their past experience, literally able to think outside the box because there's no box in the first place. Messy, dangerous, but innovative. All right, this is not to say that finance experience isn't useful. Au contraire, ideally, there's a good balance between the two. In areas like options and insurance, for instance, I'd argue that finance experience is massively valuable. These things aren't as easy as they appear to be. So I think it's actually a really good take, because I've talked about this on my channel, but it's important to know, like, I didn't have a super strong finance background before I got into blockchain. I mean, I understood the basics. I had a pretty good idea of how basic economics worked, really basic aspects of personal finance. I understand how interest rates work. I understand how loans work. I understand how compounding interest works. All that kind of stuff. Basic financial products, savings accounts, loans, all that kind of stuff. But when you move over to DeFi and you start like seeing all these protocols and what they do, unless you had that really strong finance experience, sometimes it's hard for the light bulbs to really like go off and to see like why this stuff really, really, really matters and what the benefits are that it offers. That being said, it can give you, like he's talking about here, an edge, because you're not so in the box thinking about, oh, we have to do it this way. Maybe you've worked in finance for X number of years. Sometimes it's hard to like break those patterns to think about how you can do new things. Okay, I saw this a lot, especially early on in my software career. Having an outsider's perspective who doesn't have sort of the blinders of experience in a way can actually really help. Now, that being said, it's usually helpful when that person's an outsider on like a group of other people who understand how things are quote unquote supposed to be done, so that they can like, sort of vet the ideas and help you, figure out what's a horrible idea. Because yeah, if you don't understand, like, you're gonna be trying things and sometimes it's gonna fail, but you might come across a really good idea. And now I think while what he's saying here is that some finance experience can be useful, and so that's why I think it's good, like, once you go down this rabbit hole, is to understand like how other finance products work. How does finance work? You can basically just create like a word cloud almost, and then just go and like just look it up. Like look up everything, like if you don't understand what it is. I think about like the Feynman technique, if you all know what that is. Basically it's like it's sort of a way of just like solidifying concepts, right? Where you look it up, you repeat it, you define it, try to teach it. I don't have all the steps, right in front of me, but the whole idea is just like trying to sharpen each individual skill. And you can do that with a massive word cloud that can help you understand finance, which would really help out DeFi quite a bit. Okay, so let's see here. We got more questions coming in the chat. Let's see here. Somebody says, how can ETH mining machines be converted? You could run ETH 2.0 validators I mean, if you run mining hardware, you can definitely run validators. Validator computational resources aren't that expensive. Somebody says, will gas be expensive in the future, or can drive Lambo and no worries? So I don't know about actual gas. Somebody says, thank you for teaching Solidity, by the way. You're welcome. Somebody says, will Solidity be the main Ethereum language forever? I'm starting to learn it. I don't see a good reason why it would stop being the main Ethereum language. We have Viper. It's definitely way less used. Somebody says, how can developers guess gas prices for dApps? So if you use Web3.js, which is the one that I use the most, there's a function inside there called Web3 estimate gas. And you can use that to estimate the... So I'll show you on my screen here. So if you look at Web3 documentations, Web3 contract, my methods. So basically you have to put in your function name here, put in the function arguments, and use estimate gas, and it'll help you come up with the estimate. Somebody asked, what is my portfolio composition? So mostly ETH, then Bitcoin, and then a few other DeFi projects like Aave and Synthetics. Oh, somebody said estimate gas on L2. Yeah, that's a good question. So the first one thing you can do now is basically look at some of the case studies that were done by Optimism. Okay, it's going to depend on the scaling solution. There's a lot of it depends here. If you're talking about Optimism for optimistic rollups, one thing you can do now is basically look at some of the case studies that were put out by Synthetics and also Uniswap and sort of use some of their estimates to see. That being said, if you want a concrete answer, those things will become clearer as Optimism completely rolls out. You can get your hands dirty with that solution. That's what I would say. But if you want to kind of put an estimate together, you could look at their, their case studies and try to extrapolate from there. Somebody says, I know you can't make any money being a validator, but is it worth it to buy a node just to learn more about the space? So it depends on what you mean. You can definitely make money being a validator, but you need money in order to do it. So, like, it's running my ETH2 validator. You definitely can make money off that. It's just not liquid right now. You need 32 Ether, which right now is close to $60,000, I want to say. So you got to be willing to lock that up. But yeah, you could definitely earn money. Let's look at the staking rewards right now. But I think setting one up will definitely help you learn, DevOps skills, learning about blockchain, learning how blockchain works. That being said, you don't have to do a real one. You can do it on a test network so that you don't risk your money. You could do we did that inside the staking masterclass where you can set it up on like a test network. You don't have to worry about, losing funds. So the staking rewards right now are currently 8.4%. Okay, don't forget it's denominated in Ether, so not in dollars. Of course, Ethereum has a price, so that will be a factor. But yeah, it'll be 8.4% paid out in ETH. It's a Submariner. What's your opinion on Holochain? I don't have an opinion on holochain. Nice. So somebody got some developer skills. Somebody said less than 32 ETH to stake on Coinbase, correct? So I don't know that Coinbase's ETH staking has gone live yet. It might have. I had to go check on that. But yeah, there's lots of other solutions where you can stake your ETH with less than 32 Ether. It's just you probably won't get the full reward as staking it yourself as a native validator. There may be some like way where they additionally use your ETH and can offer you the same reward or better. I doubt it, but there might be. But there's always be some kind of trade-off. Like you're using a centralized service, you have to trust that they're. I mean, I use Coinbase to buy, so and it just depends on how much you're talking. I guess the point I'm trying to make is I'm not like hating on Coinbase or anything. I'm just talking about the technical risks. So Cohen says Coinbase is 7.5%. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. It only makes sense for Coinbase to offer you that service and then take something off the top as a convenience fee. Unless they were, like I said, unless they were able to somehow add some sort of benefit on there about how they could use your ETH and give you more percentage. But then you're probably taking on some sort of risk at that point. How do I buy Ether? Yeah, you can buy it on a exchange like Coinbase or whatever you want to. All right, so last question here that I'll sign off for today. Can I explain liquidity pools? Why are they needed? So liquidity pools are used for lots of different DeFi applications. So any application that needs user funds in order to work, like a decentralized exchange, for example, they have giant reservoirs of money called pools or liquidity pools where people can park their money to help make the app work. The users are incentivized to do that by usually earning some type of monetary reward, like a cut of trading fees that are paid out to the users who help provide liquidity to the application. So let's take Uniswap, for example. Uniswap uses an automated market maker technology where users park funds into the applications for each trading pair. So let's say you want to swap like ETH for DAI. You provide ETH and DAI to that liquidity pool, and then you're helping support that particular kind of trader, not really order book, but trading pair on Uniswap at that point, and you earn a cut of the trading fees for that particular trading pair and help Uniswap operate. So that's really common practice for lots of different applications out there that need liquidity in order to run. They incentivize users to put money in their app to do that. All right, everybody, so that's all I got for today. As always, hope you like this video. Smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you like this videos, you want to, you're as fast at this technology as I am, then how can you get started today? You go to my YouTube homepage. You find any of my free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. If you like those, you want to take the next step, or hey, if you want to take a master shortcut entirely, I can show you how to become a blockchain master step-by-step start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. Okay. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding background become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. All right, so that's all I've got. And until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.